Hi, good evening. It is October 20th, 2021, and we are going to call the meeting to order at 7:36. Apologies for a few minutes of delay. We had a little technical glitch. So I think we would start with the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, all. We are.
Okay. Trustee Fritchie?
Present.
Trustee Lopez?
Present.
Trustee White? Trustee Quesada? Mayor Levin?
Here.
Okay. Moving on to our first public hearing, proposed local law 15 of 2021, a local law adding a new chapter 42, procurement policy of the Village of Ossining Code. Is there anybody here who would like to speak on the public hearing tonight?
Do we have anybody in the
We do. If
gallery?
anyone would like, please raise your hand. Your virtual hand. It doesn't look like anyone on this particular one. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay. So again, can I have a motion and a second to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
any comments from the board? Seeing none, Martha?
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
By the way, Martha, may I say that your background is lovely. I see a new
Oh,
picture.
thank you.
The last time we were
Thank you.
together. Loving this one.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to our second public hearing, for proposed honorary street naming for Barbara Klapkowski. Is there anybody here who would like to speak on the public hearing?
If there is, if you could raise your virtual hand, we can bring you over.
Not seeing any. Are you, Jamie?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, we discussed this in great length. Is Joyce on here as well?
She is doing her best to come over. I had actually spoken to Donna Hannon earlier today, and she had said she was going to join, but it looks like most of the people here are for
Right, well, I don't know who they're here for, but just the people who did get on, there was a link sent that may be problematic, depending on what email you looked at. So there might be a couple of people that are trying to get in, including the village historian, who are having a little difficulty. If they come on later and they want to speak, the truth is we've spoken about this for a while because of the way the process works. So I think we're probably ready to go.
Okay, so then can I have a motion and a second to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Comments? Okay,
Okay,
Martha?
all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, moving on to our third public hearing, proposed honorary street naming for Dream IoniShepherd. Is there anybody here who would like to speak on the public hearing? If so, please click on your virtual hand.
we have one person so far, Mayor. We have Joanne Matthews. And then I also wanted to let you know that the Donna Hannon did just get on. I know that she was on for the earlier one. She wasn't
Okay.
in it. So
So-
I'll begin. Which would you like me to do,
So this
Joanna,
is-
first?
This is what I like to do. Let's bring Donna on. Let's just stay in order because we sort of weren't able because of the glitch. And then we'll bring on Joanne Matthews, who I think is speaking on this one. So if you could bring Donna over, then if she wants to say a few words, that would be lovely.
Okay.
Mayor, you need to reopen the public hearing then.
Oh, in order to do that, can
Yes.
Donna speak? Hold on. Is there another time where she can speak on this? I don't want to go through the whole process.
Mayor, may I suggest, let's move on with this public hearing and then we can close and then we can reopen
Yeah.
the first one.
Right.
All
Okay.
right, no
let's do
problem.
that.
So first I'm going to call on Joanne Matthews and then Althea Goodson. So hold on just a moment. So Joanne, I'm going to bring you over as panelist. If you can unmute, that would be great. Thank you.
Hello.
There she is.
Hello there. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Welcome.
My name is Joanne Bailey Matthews. I am a cousin of Dream Shepherd, and I am speaking on the behalf of our family. One of the family members to say that we support this naming of the street, and it would be an honor to our family for the board to approve the street naming. And so I thank you for your time and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Matthews. Pleasure to see you here, and thank you for those words. Street namings are an honorary form, and we've been using them a bit more, and I thank you for being here with us. Is there somebody else? Is Althema Goodson also? Yes.
Yes, she is. And then Shiloh Trotman will be coming over after. So give me just a moment. I need to, oh, I didn't, where are we? I apologize. Okay, so Mia. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Althema Goodson, a lifelong resident and a proud villager for Dream Shepherd. I definitely believe that this honorarium is so needed for Dream. She's touched our whole community. She's just, her love and her spirit was infectious. So I definitely just wanted to just point that across, that you know, definitely the impact that she made on this community. So I am just sharing my thoughts on the street naming. Thank you.
And welcome, Althema. Thank you for joining us. Always nice to see you.
Good to see you.
And thank you again for the support and kind words, and for sharing your thoughts with us tonight.
Thank you for the opportunity.
I'm going to bring over Shiloh Trotman. If I mispronounced your name, I apologize.
Here she is.
Hello.
Good evening. Welcome, Ms. Trotman.
Good evening. My name is Shiloh Trotman, of course, and I had the pleasure of having Dream in my class. I was her kindergarten teacher. Although the encounter was joyous and both sad, it forever changed my life as an educator. I understand how necessary it is to create and grow a culture of care, not only for the students, but for the parents, thus spilling over into the community as a whole. So yes, I'm very proud and I'm very happy that the Board of Ossining Trustees for the Village of Ossining saw it fit and honorable to name a street after Dream, forever leaving a reminder of her legacy. Hashtag to live is to dream.
Thank you so much. Again, I've said this before, you know, thank you sometimes really the only two words that are necessary. So thank you for sharing that with us. I do want to remind folks who might see this video later, and those of you that are here tonight, that I've asked Joyce Cole, Sharak Cole, excuse me, our historian and a village to coordinate a time for when the sign will go up, and that will happen once the process goes through with the board votes and it gets produced, and then we have that. So I also look forward to that as well, because that's, I think, part of the process actually. So I thank folks for being here. I don't see any more hands. Jamie, am I right about that? Oh,
I don't, oh, wait,
Oh,
we
wait.
have 3 more. So,
we got two more. Okay.
So Donna, has her hand up. We're gonna wait until we close this public hearing to reopen it. So the next is Diana Lemon. I'm gonna bring her over. Thank you.
While you're doing that, Donna, you may not have heard it, so I'm just letting you know. The board has unanimously already moved this forward. Not to say that you shouldn't say a few words if you wish, but just to let you know that while you were coming on, we had already gone through it and we're in total support of the naming. That's just an FYI. Still welcome to say a few words if you want to do that. If not, you could lower your hand. If you feel you want to say something, you're welcome to do so.
Donna
Okay.
also would like to say something about Dream. She posted in the message, so.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Donna also would like to say
Oh.
something about.
Okay, so frankly, if she wants to say something about Dream, we can actually bring her on to do that as well. But let's, I think that we already have Diana Lemon on. Hello there. Hello, Diana, welcome.
Hi, everyone. I just really just wanted to just hop on and thank you all again for doing this honorary street naming for Dream, and Joyce for the work that she did to put into motion. This really makes my heart smile and just lets me know that all the things that Dream and I did together will continue on, and she will always forever be remembered. So thank you.
Thank you again, especially during this difficult times. Always appreciate you joining us.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to bring Donna Hannon over to talk about just Dream, and then she can come over again when we reopen the other public hearing. Am I correct, Stuart?
But we
Yes.
do need to reopen the one public.
Right,
hearing
but we
that
still have
Stuart-
somebody else on here for, Donna wants to speak on that, and then we have someone else who wants to speak on Dream. So I'm going to bring over Donna. So if you give me just a moment, I'll do it. Okay. All right, Donna, you have been brought over as panelist. I think, did it work? Yep.
Oh. Donna, you have to unmute also.
Mute and start video. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Hello, Donna. Nice to
Hi.
see you.
Hi. So on behalf of Dream's peers, my son is one, and all of her other classmates, the word is she was a doll. She was sunshine, always smiling. She would like just turn it up every time she was, with her friends, with her classmates. They felt that. They acknowledged that. I saw it at the memorial at the waterfront. I also want to say on behalf of myself, who absolutely appreciates legislature and legislation, I am enthralled of Dream's mom and for the effort that she put in to create legislation to support people who have a similar situation where they bring home someone who's vulnerable and needs actual medical oversight. That's a huge legacy, and I appreciate that very much. So that's what I wanted to say on behalf of Dream's family.
Thank you, Donna. We're going to bring on Truly Blessed.
Yes, I'll be bringing over Truly Blessed right now. Truly Blessed, you're here. If you can turn on your camera and unmute, that would be great. Thank you.
Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Kaisha Mackey. I am Dream's cousin, big cousin, and I'm a former resident of Westchester. And I just wanted to say this will be a great way to keep Dream legacy alive. And my little one right here would like to say some words on behalf of her big cousin. Go ahead. Say it.
Hi, my name is Callie Rose.
What else?
I'm Dream's little cousin, and I want her to be named after the streets, and I miss her.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for this opportunity, and I appreciate everybody's hard work.
Same.
Thank you both for joining us. Thank you, Ms. Mackey. And
welcome.
Ms. Mackey Jr. as well, I guess, would have been more appropriate. Thank you both for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you going to be then reopening the public hearing so that Ms. Hannon can come back over? I don't know how we do that, Stuart.
She lowered her hand. Donna, here's what I want to do. It would require us to reopen and go through the process. If you, let me just finish. If you want to say a few words on behalf, then keep your hand up. If you feel that the fact that we're moving this forward and we'll be naming and you don't need to say a few words, I'll give you a second to lower your hand. I'm just going to look for that, and that way we can move forward.
I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing we're in right now.
Oh, for this public hearing, yeah. Second?
Second?
Okay. All those, and I'm going to cut right to it, Martha. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 I'd
Okay.
like to make a motion to reopen the previous public session.
I'm sorry, may I-
Honorary street naming
Miss-
for Barbara
Mr.
Klapkowski.
Yeah, Joe Clark wants to also speak as well. He's here as well.
That's
So,
fine. So, do I have a second?
Second?
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. We'll reopen for that. And this is for the proposed honor street naming for Barbara Klapkowski. Okay, Donna, you're going to be on first.
Don, if you want to turn your camera on again.
Okay, there we go. Okay, Barbara Klapkowski is a long-standing member of the community. I've known her in recent years through John Klapkowski and the Ossining Boat and Canoe Club, which is actually in my background. You'll see a lovely scene from our dinghy dock.
It's actually beautiful.
It's gorgeous. It's a gem of a. She was significant in the planning board for over 3 decades. She was instrumental in developing the Klapkowski Preserve and ensuring that there was green space in Ossining. I also believe that she was a significant player in St. Augustine's annual fair in getting the white elephant sale, which we all get to benefit from, up and running. Well, we've missed it for the last couple of years, but that was definitely a significant part of her contribution. I know that Joe Clark has spent years working with Barbara, and I'm sure he has something that he might want to contribute.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you again for joining us on this one. And I don't see Joe Clark on here, but Jamie, you said you did. So is that 273 Spring Street? Is that?
No,
Nope.
he's listed as Joseph Clark.
Oh, there's
I don't-
Joseph Clark. I just didn't see him. Sorry about that.
He's on, but I'm not sure. He hasn't raised his hand, so he may just be
Okay.
here to support versus speak. Oh, he's got his hand up. I'm going to bring him over. Okay.
There we are.
All right. Thank you. All right, Mr. Clark, if you could turn your camera on, please, and unmute, that would be great.
Okay.
Welcome, Joe.
Hi, everybody. How are you? I actually did not know I was speaking tonight, but I think you all read the great work that Donna and Joyce put together, and saw that a few years ago, I actually wrote the nomination for Barbara to be the Westchester County Planner of the Year. And I think that sort of just touches the iceberg of Barbara's contributions to Ossining over the years. She truly was sort of dedicated to our community. She was long before she got literally involved in the process of Ossining's planning. She was a regular attendee at village board meetings when I was there in the 80s. So her legacy of contribution goes back to the last century. I think it's great. I'm really happy that we're taking the time to recognize somebody who spent so many years of voluntary service in Ossining. She truly was a woman for all seasons. I think Stuart actually knows that as well. He spent many a Tuesday evening with Barbara and saw the detail from where she went from sort of the macro view of Ossining and what's good for Ossining right down to tell me again where you're putting the garbage disposal. She was an attention to detail that I, quite frankly, haven't seen in very many people in my entire career, both in the village and in business. So I think it's great. Thank you so much. It really is a fitting honor for Barbara's legacy.
Thank you very much, sir. Very much appreciate those words, and thank you for joining us tonight. And I'm going to need a motion for closing this public hearing now.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. Okay, Martha, back to you.
Goodbye.
Okay, we're moving on to mayor's and trustees announcements.
Is there anybody amongst the trustees that have an announcement? Dana, might you have an announcement?
I do. I guess the CDC has said it's okay for trick-or-treating to resume this year. Very exciting. I didn't do it last year and it kind of broke my heart because it is my favorite thing to do is giving candy out to the kids. But, and I know in the past we've done the trunk or treat on Main Street, but this year there's going to be instead a pumpkin patch at Nelson Park. And it is for kids 12 and under. And you can come to the pumpkin patch on Friday, October 29th between 4 and 8:45. And you can choose a pumpkin and then there will be goodie bags, donuts, and cider. You can wear a costume if you want. You do have to register your kids. There's a Facebook page called Pumpkin Patch at Nelson Park where you can do it. There may be other places where you could do it. They may be on the village page. But it looks like a lot of fun. You can bring your kids there, safe environment to go have some Halloween fun. That's it.
Thank you. I just wanted to reiterate that the village, I think under Jamie Hoffman, puts out a web blast. It's not the sexiest of names, but it actually has lots of information about virtually every event going on here locally to Ossining. Almost all of it's Ossining, the village, a lot of stuff about the town, the library. I only bring this up because a lot of the Halloween events have been on there as they've been happening. And it's usually a week or so in advance. People, if they need to know anything that's going on in the village. I think, Jamie, you also do the town. I know you do the libraries. And I think so Barcliff also, the rec is oftentimes put on there for their website, which those websites also, once you click through them, have many, many events. So there is lots of information about local events and happenings on that web blast that gets sent out, in addition to the mayor's message, which I try to highlight different things, different points in time, but I don't generally go through literally so many events going on at all times that the web blast has. And there's also our social media page that carries more highlights. So thank you, Dana, for bringing that up. For bringing up the Halloween, always a fun time. Anyone else with any announcements? Okay, I only have one, which is regardless of who you vote for and how you vote, I strongly encourage you to go out and vote. There's early voting. I put that on the mayor's message beginning on October 23rd, and we're fortunate enough to have the Caputo Center, Community Center, where there's lots of opportunities to vote for the candidate of your choice. There's also, I think, some referendums, not referendums, there's other things. Don't forget to turn the ballot over and see what else you should be voting on. That was really my singular, aside from, I hope everybody enjoys Halloween, my singular announcement. So I guess we're ready to move on.
Okay, moving on to administrative reports, Village Manager Karen DeTore.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk. Today, Assistant Village Manager Maddie Zahach and I attended the Municipal Administrators Luncheon, Association Luncheon, and the guest speaker was none other than Richard Wishney, Commissioner of Emergency Services for Westchester County. And the topic was our EMS services and the funding challenges that they confront. This is an extremely vital, yet by law, non-essential service that is predominantly done by volunteers who work tirelessly. And we were able to acknowledge how fortunate our community is to have these services in place through the Ossining Volunteer Ambulance Corps, led by Captain Nick Francoso. The Ossining Volunteer Ambulance Corps is comprised of members who are volunteer and career, who provide 24-hour days, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, service, and strive to bring Ossining the best emergency medical care available. So we know the great work that OVAC does. We saw it, how they responded during COVID. So anything that we can do through a coalition with other agencies and municipalities in the county to drive more awareness at the state level, at the local level, and at the federal level for how important these emergency medical services are, we are glad to help with. So that was a very interesting meeting and something we will heartily support as best we can. We have a lot of things going on this fall through our rec department. Free disc golf the next 3 Saturdays from 10 to 2 at Nelson City Park and I think Nelson Park. And you can bring your own equipment, or there will be equipment for you for those free disc golf golfers or disc golf golfers among us. And for the first time ever, Rec will be hosting a special needs kids night out for kids and their caregivers, free on Friday night. Right now we have about 10 families signed up, and we hope to see more. All are welcome, and you can register. You can go to the village website, villageofossining.org, to register. Talk about the pumpkin patch and a lot of new programs coming out. So girls basketball leagues, wrestling, open volleyball. So just make sure you check the web blast and go to the website and sign up for all the great activities we have. FEMA will be hosting a mobile disaster recovery center at the Ossining Public Library to help survivors of Hurricane Ida apply for disaster assistance. And you can meet with FEMA staff and representatives of other federal and state agencies and get help with uploading documents, getting information for small businesses that also may have been hurt by Hurricane Ida. And again, FEMA representatives will be there to walk residents through the process of getting assistance, and that's at the public library from Saturday through the 23rd through Tuesday the 26th, with the exception of Sunday the 24th. The library will be closed. We did receive approval from New York State's Homes and Community Renewals to begin the remediation at 200 Main Street. So if you remember, we were in the planning phases for that. All that has been completed. We're waiting to finalize some documents, and then we'll be advertising for the remediation. And once underway, we expect it to take 12 or 14 weeks. So we'll be a little bit behind our schedule of December 31st. However, we should be done by April. And we're excited to, again, get the bank building back in shape to ultimately have it be some very attractive business that will attract people to our community and bring life back to a building that's been vacant for very, very many years.
I just want to point out that I was chuckling a little bit at your commentary. We're a little bit late, but after more than 4 decades of that building sitting there, I feel like a couple of weeks is probably not so bad to be a little late. It's like a huge thing that has moved forward in the past 4 months at the rate that it has. So
yeah, and it wasn't for the if it wasn't for the pandemic, it would have everything stalled in the early days of the grant. So we lost some time there. But yes, in the grand scheme of things, we're moving right along very quickly. So that's a good point. And I was out that last week, but Maddie was here, and the assistant village manager was busy as always. So there's a couple of things that she's going to report on. The parking app that she has worked very, very hard in spearheading, as well as some things on our greenest, our mission to become the greenest village in the country. So with that, I will turn it over to Maddie Zahaj.
Thank you, Karen. Good evening, Mayor and Board. So as Karen mentioned, earlier today, we actually met a few people on this call were actually with me. I was with the chief, a couple members of his team, including parking enforcement officers and a sergeant and a lieutenant. Deputy Clerk Martha was on the phone with us as well as quite a few other members of our staff and some other people from Passport. So today was our kickoff meeting. They told us between 4 and 6 weeks from today, we will be up and running. So we're very excited to have them start building the back end. We'll be having weekly phone calls. At least I will be having weekly phone calls with the team so that we can make sure that we're staying on top of everything. The whole team is very enthused and we're ready to get started. The other news is that last Thursday night, I joined some of my colleagues throughout the Hudson Valley. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit of feedback. The Village of Ossining is one of only 17 communities in the Hudson Valley who is participating in the solar mapping project with Clearwater and Scenic Hudson. So basically for the next couple of weeks, myself, as well as one of the members of our EAC, is going to be joining every 2 weeks and learning about how to use GIS tools for finding appropriate placements for large solar installations, similar to the one that we just saw open in Maryknoll in the town of Ossining. So we're really excited to learn a little bit more. This is the first time they're rolling out this program. We're lucky enough to be part of the first class. So we're very excited to learn all we can and bring back some great information about what the village board may like to do.
Thank you, Maddie. I don't know if it's feedback. It almost sounds like somebody's speaking or something's running simultaneously. Thank you for doing that. I remember when we first talked about it. So thanks for stepping into it and up. And I'm pretty excited about the opportunities. So thanks for that. Yes, I forgot to say welcome back to the manager. Maybe it's because the assistant manager did such a swell job that I know it's a double-edged sword, man. Let's call it a good team, but welcome back. Were you done, Maddie, or did I cut you off there?
I'm so sorry. Nope, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Corporation Counsel Stuart Kahan.
Thank you, Martha. Good evening, folks. Just a reminder, on Sunday, October 24th, if you are dialing within the 914 area code, you must dial 1 and 914. If you do not, your call will not go through. Many of us have our cell phones already programmed without the 914. You will need to change that. So again, that goes into effect Sunday. You may have gotten some messages, but you'll know it when you don't get your call to go through. Tomorrow night, there is a planning board work session. If any of you are interested to watch. There are two matters on that agenda. The first is 136 to 140 Croton Avenue, which is the former Sunrise Nursery. And that will be an interesting discussion because it will be involving the Croton Avenue overlay zone and the form-based zoning, which was approved by this board as part of the comprehensive plan. There will also be a discussion with regard to the project or the proposed project at 14 Water Street. So that is tomorrow night. I believe that begins at 6 p.m. For those folks who want to watch. And again, that is a work session. The planning board will have its regular scheduled meeting on Tuesday night, the 26th, beginning at 7 p.m. And agendas for both meetings with associated documents are available on the village's website. Tonight, the board will be voting on approving or adopting Local Law 8, which will actually go into the books as Local Law 13 of 2021, which was to amend the zoning code to add administrative adjustments, which we've talked about a lot, which will hopefully free the zoning board from some of the more minor variances that have come across its desk, and will also make a change in procedure with regard to the length of area variances. So I do want to thank the board. I want to thank our planner, Jaime Martinez, Land Use Council, Amanda Brosi, and Building Inspector Joe Agustinelli for all their assistance with regard to that proposed local law. The board will also be voting tonight on approving the honorary street naming of the corner of South Street and State Street for James Lewis Bason Jr. There has been extensive discussion on that. My thanks to our village historian, Joyce Cole, for all the work she has done with regard to this and all the other street naming applications that come across, but those two in particular. That's it from Corp Counsel. Thank you.
Thank you. Stuart, just a quick question. The Sun Valley Nursery, when is that in front of planning?
It is part of the work session tomorrow night.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Certainly.
Okay, Police Chief Kevin Sylvester.
Good evening. Last week, we announced to the community an arrest made in a number of larcenies from vehicles on Dale Avenue and Sherwood Avenue. So just want to share with the board today some of the things that we're working on for that. We've published no less than a dozen times in the past what we call the 9 p.m. routine. We'll continue to work with people on that, which is to remove your valuables from your car, to lock your car doors, and to leave a light on outside. Remarkably, if not all of, but the majority of the crime that we're seeing is people leaving their vehicles unlocked, and in many cases, keys left in the vehicle. I know that the Village of Briarcliff had a larceny of a Porsche the other day that was taken in the middle of the day because someone left the keys to their Porsche inside of their unlocked Porsche. So if you have a Porsche and you want to leave it unlocked, the keys in my house, I'll take it. Other crime we have.
Well, you made Martha and Omar really smile, and other people on this call. So yeah.
Yeah, if anybody's giving away Porsches, I'll take one.
I only smiled because I did that this morning, and then as I walked outside my car, I was like, wait, my car's inside, my key's inside.
Oh, okay. You're smiling for a whole different reason. Okay, then.
I was like, okay, so I'm not the only one.
Take your keys out of the car.
I'm gonna stop doing that. Though. I'm gonna stop doing that.
Take your stuff out, lock your car, leave a light on outside. This is an easily preventable crime. It's not unique to Ossining. In fact, we've fared better than most communities, but it's been something of an epidemic in Westchester County for the past couple of years. Police departments are working diligently to try and address these crimes, but it takes residents taking responsibility for their own property. And something a little bit more serious, we did announce yesterday that the U.S. Attorney's Office has made an arrest. The FBI, our police department, together with the U.S. Attorney's Office, made an arrest in the December 6th robbery that took place on James Street. That is announced, and they made specific reference to it being a Hobbs Act robbery, which is a very, very serious federal crime. As you may or may not know, murder is not a charge that exists on the books in federal law. Hobbs Act robbery is where somebody commits a robbery involving interstate commerce, and where, in this case at least, where a participant dies. So very, very sad to see that happen. Outstanding work by Lieutenant Zimmerman, Detective Armstrong, Bracero, Hadjistillanos, and Chavez, all working together with our partners in the FBI Safe Streets Task Force. Really tremendous work from them. This one took a while. Sometimes good work takes time, but always good that we can announce a clean resolution to these things, and hopefully bring some peace back to the community. As was already announced, we do have the Pumpkin Patch event coming up on October 29th from 4 to 8:45 p.m. Do need reservations for that, so go to the recreation website, and there will be very thankful for our sponsors at Stop and Shop for the pumpkins, apple cider, and donuts that they're going to be providing at this event, as well as I believe music from DJ Johnny G, who sort of a given. If we're having something, he'll be there. So that's all for me tonight. Thanks.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions? Okay, Martha.
Okay, moving on to organizational announcements. Is there anybody here in the public who would like to make an organizational announcement? If so, please click and raise your virtual hand.
I don't see anybody.
No? Okay. So moving on to public comment on agenda items. Is there anybody here from the public who would like to address the board on any of the resolutions on tonight's agenda? Again, if you would like to speak, please click on your virtual hand. Nobody, Jamie?
Nope.
No one,
Nope.
but I'm not sure if Miss Bason knows that this would be the time when she would raise her hand to speak. Yes, so Kathy Bason is raising her hand. I'm going to bring her over. Okay. So if Kathy, I'm going to bring over, you can unmute and turn on your camera. Thank you. I'm trying. It's not, there we are. I think she's over here.
Okay, you just need to unmute.
And turn on the camera, please.
Oh, I don't want to turn on the camera.
Okay, no problem, no pressure.
Can you hear me though?
Yes.
Are you okay? I don't want to turn on the camera, but I do actually want to say thank you on behalf of my uncle. This is my first time attending the board meeting. My cousin Christine Bason has sent me the link, and I actually work virtually from home, and this is my first time I'm able to attend. So in the behalf of my uncle, James Bason, that was an active member of the town for many, many years, I just want to say thank you from my family to the town of initiating his name as a street name in the town of Ossining, which he was born and raised. And I am so honored and I'm so emotional. But I just want to say, in behalf of my family, the Bason family, we truly, truly want to say thank you for honoring him and keeping his name extended in the town where he was raised and born. And this is an honor for me, and I'm just so overwhelmed and so thankful that he is this is taking place. I can't wait for it to happen because it's going to be a huge celebration. But just want to say thank you so much for that. And I love Ossining. I've moved out since 10 years ago, but it's always my home. I graduated from Ossining High School and went to all of the schools. My son graduated, and it's just going to be forever my home. And it's an awesome, awesome place to raise children and just grow. And I love it, and I miss it so much. So on that note, thank you so much again from the Bason family. We appreciate you all.
Thank you, Ms. Bason, and on behalf of the board, extending thanks to your family. We've learned so much about him that we normally do because of the process we have in place, and where the village historian sort of does the research and then educates the board and folks who look at our videos when they replay them at their leisure, at their convenience. So thanks for being here tonight with us. And I'm glad that you joined us for the first time. I just hope it's not the last time. So thank you again. Okay.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak and raise your hand? Kathy, raising your hand again. Nope, she's taking her hand down. Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Martha?
Now we're going on to the village board resolutions. Approval of minutes, October 7th, 2021. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining hereby approves the minutes of the October 7th, 2021 regular meeting as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from the board?
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Resolved, approval of minutes, October 13th, 2021. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining hereby approves the minutes of the October 13th, 2021 special meeting as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Comments?
No.
Martha?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Approval of voucher detail, October 20th, 2021. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining hereby approves the voucher detail report dated October 20th, 2021, and the amount of $705,502.71. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Comments?
No comments on my end, Mayor.
Okay. Martha?
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Resolution approval of honorary naming of the corner of South Street and State Street for James Lewis Bason Jr. as James L. Bason Jr. Way. Whereas the purpose of the honorary street naming policy approved by the Village of Ossining Board of Trustees is to honor current and former residents of the village who have made contributions to the village through accomplishments during the honoree's lifetime. And whereas on or about May 4th, 2021, the village manager received a letter from Christine Bason requesting the honorary street naming of the corner of South Street and State Street and for her late uncle James Lewis Bason Jr. And whereas pursuant to the honorary street naming policy, the Board of Trustees, by resolution, referred the application to the village historian for report. And whereas on or about August 17th, 2021, village historian Joyce Sherrod Cole provided to the Board of Trustees her report on the application, which included a summary of James Lewis Bason Jr.'s life and contributions to the village of Ossining. And whereas the historian's report noted the following: James Bason Jr. was a lifelong resident of Ossining, affectionately called Jimmy. He was born at Ossining Hospital, now site of the Star Bethlehem Baptist Church on Spring Street, on October 14th, 1944, to parents James and Gloria Bason. James was educated in the Ossining School District and graduated from Ossining High School in 1962. His childhood homes were located at 4 South Street and 109 State Street. At his passing, Jimmy was still an Ossining resident. James L. Bason Jr.'s contribution to the village of Ossining started at a very young age. Many in the village, individuals, churches, local organizations, the Ossining School District, civic organizations, social organizations, called upon him for his incredible musical talents. He became a member of the Star Bethlehem Baptist Church at age 7 and served the Lord faithfully there for the duration of his life. As a musical director for many choirs and the chorus of the church, he led with immense talent and passion. In the interviews conducted, all boasted of his beautiful and giving spirit, how he was a voice of comfort to many, and they looked forward to seeing his bright smile. Many that were under his direction in the choirs spoke of the positive impact he had on their lives. They all spoke of him with palpable reverence. And whereas, pursuant to the policy, a public hearing was held on the application on October 7th, 2021, via Zoom in accordance with Chapter 417 of the laws of 2021, at which time members of the public were given the opportunity to address the Board of Trustees on the application, after which the public hearing was closed. Now therefore be it resolved that the application for the honorary street naming of the corner of South Street and State Street as James L. Bason Jr. Way for Jason Lewis Bason Jr. is granted, and be it further resolved that appropriate signage will be located at the aforementioned corner. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any more comments? I mean, I know we've discussed this in great length, and I know Ms. Bason is here to join us, and I think this is a beautifully written memorialization that will stay forever in the minutes of the village meeting. Are there any other comments before we vote? Not seeing any. Martha?
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? No one. Okay. Authorizing the village manager to sign a retainer agreement with Bleakley Platt and Schmidt LLP, 1 North Lexington Avenue, White Plains, New York. Resolved that the village manager is authorized to sign a retainer agreement with Bleakley Platt and Schmidt LLP, 1 North Lexington Avenue, to represent the village of Ossining in connection with litigation arising out of the Hudson Crest / Hudson Steep development, including the restoration and maintenance of the historic Smith Robinson House. And be it further resolved that the retainer agreement will be consistent with the proposed litigation budget dated September 21st, 2021. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? Do you want to speak to this, Stuart? You don't have to. I mean, some of this is really a request to have a retainer agreement with the law firm. I don't know if you want to say anything publicly or not.
No, it's in line with the earlier discussions that we had, and it's just to retain this firm with regard to a discrete matter.
Thank you.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Adoption of proposed local law 8/2021 as local law 13/2021, a local law amending chapter 270 zoning of the Village of Ossining Code by adding new article 16 administrative adjustments and by amending section 270-49 procedure. whereas the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining Village Board have been considering the adoption of proposed local law 8, 2021 titled A Local Law Amending Chapter 270 Zoning of the Village of Ossining Code by adding a new Article 16 Administrative Adjustments and by amending Section 270-49 Procedure. And whereas the proposed local law would add a new article, Article 16, allowing the building inspector designated to issue administrative adjustments representing minor modifications or deviations from the dimensional or numeric standards of the village's zoning code. And whereas the proposed local law also would extend the effective dates for area and use variances to 1 year from the current 6 months and place a limit on the number of extensions for such variances that may be granted by the Zoning Board of Appeals. And whereas pursuant to Section 270-59, the proposed changes to Chapter 270 were referred to the Village of Ossining Planning Board for a report, which report was provided on August 12, 2021, in which the Planning Board expressed its approval of the proposed changes to the zoning code. And whereas the proposed local law was forwarded to the Westchester County Planning Board, which by letter dated September 15, 2021 advised, we have reviewed this matter under the provisions of Section 239 L, M, and N of the General Municipal Law and Section 277.61 of the County Administrative Code, and we find it to be a matter for local determination in accordance with the village's planning and zoning policies. And whereas pursuant to the regulations of the State Environmental Quality Review Act, a short environmental assessment form, parts 1, 2, and 3 were prepared, concluding that the adoption of the proposed local law would not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts. And whereas a public hearing was conducted on October 7, 2021 at 7:30 p.m. via the Zoom platform pursuant to Chapter 417 of the laws of 2021, affording the public the opportunity to comment on the proposed local law. And whereas the public hearing was closed on October 7, 2021. And whereas there are no impediments to approving proposed local law 8, 2021 as local law 13, 2021. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining hereby adopts proposed local law 8, 2021 as local law 13, 2021 and directs that said local law be filed and or distributed in accord with applicable law. And be further resolved that pursuant to New York Village Law, Section 7-706, 5, the text of local law 13, 2021 shall be entered into the minutes of the Village Board of Trustees. A copy, summary, or abstract of local law 13, 2021 shall be published once in the official newspaper, and a copy of local law 13, 2021 shall be posted conspicuously at or near the main entrance to the office of the village clerk with affidavits of publication and postings filed with the village clerk. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Need a second. Okay, Dana, thank you. Any comments?
It's been a long time coming.
Wow, that's so understated of you.
But no, thank you for thanks for everybody. Thanks for Stuart. Thanks for Joe on the building department. He's going to be doing a lot of the work on this one. So I do appreciate that him taking additional work on this matter. So thank you, and thanks Stuart for being very thorough on this process. So appreciate that.
Great. Okay, Martha.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Fire Department appointment. Resolved that upon the recommendation of the Fire Chief, Juan Pablo, Ossining, New York, was elected an active member of the Hala Hose Company No. 5 for interior firefighting. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Comments? Martha?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Fire Department removal from active roles. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Ossining hereby removes the following firefighters from the active roles of the Ossining Fire Department: Arnold DiMartino, Fire Police and Emergency Squad, and Gabe Galletto Sr., Hala Hose Company No. 5. Do I have a motion?
So move.
So move. Second.
Comments? Martha?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Is there any continuing business of the board?
Anybody? Okay.
Any new business of the board?
I don't even know if it qualifies. I should have said in the announcements, but we had discussed FEMA. I've been writing about it. It's all of this post-flood issues that hit this community really, really hard. Westchester County in general, but I'm not the mayor of Westchester, just this community. FEMA will also be at one of our meetings. Somebody from FEMA reached out to us a day or so ago, and so the staff is just working on which Wednesday they will be coming to a presentation, just letting folks know in case they want to share that information with others.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is that it? Okay. Is there anybody here from the public who would like to address the board on issues not related to the agenda, but of relevance to the common good of the village? If so, please click on your virtual hand and we will call on you.
Rika, we've got Christine Bason. She's raising her hand now. Would you like, can I bring her over? Okay.
Well, sure. I don't know what the topic is, but let's bring her over.
I have a feeling it's agenda related, but I'll let you.
We'll figure that out.
Christina, you've been brought over. If you can unmute.
Hello.
Hello there. Oh, now
Hi.
you on video. Hello.
Hi. I just had a question in regards to the street naming for my uncle. I was wondering if you guys foresee it possibly happening before the change in the season, or would we anticipate that this would occur next year?
I don't know. When you say change in season, do you mean in the next month or so? Are you referring
Exactly.
to fall to the winter? Well, they actually physically produce the signs and they have to put them out there. So I don't actually know who to ask on this. Karen,
answer
do
that.
you know?
Right.
Okay.
Jamie can answer that. So,
Okay.
so Paul Frioli, he's going to be advised. We don't normally order the signs until the legislation is passed. So what he's going to do is he'll take care of it and he'll let us know tomorrow when it can be installed. And then what I'll do, Christine, is I'll reach out to you to find out when you and your family are available, and I will double check those dates with the Village Board of Trustees, who will be there for the installation.
If I could say this differently to you, Christine, if I may suggest, because we do get this question. We're not in a rush, nor do we want to delay. The signs will be literally produced because this evening the board passed that legislation. It's really a conversation of when you and your family would like to have it done. We don't have a due date. If you would like this done on May 1 of 2022 or, some other date, it's up to you. This is not actually our moment. I say this to families, it's your moment. When you are comfortable and when you want to have it, some of us show up, some of us don't. It's not our part's done. It's really for you and Jamie to come up with a date that's comfortable, convenient, and suitable for your family.
Okay, thank you very much. And
that was really your
appreciate
question.
everyone for being in agreement for approving of the street renaming. I sincerely, on behalf of myself and my family, we all thank you. Another reason why I'm just a little bit anxious is because the anniversary of his passing is coming up in November. And it also happens to be the anniversary of our local church. So I reached out to our local minister, who's actually acting as the pastor now, and we were kind of hoping that we can tie it all in together. So that's why I was hoping that we could get it done in November sometime.
Well, I leave that to you and Jamie. I'm sure if it's possible, it will be done. I do ask that you invite us. We'd like to get invited.
Absolutely. It's going to be a real spectacle. I'll tell you that.
And I do ask that we don't stop all the traffic on whatever street we're doing it on. That's the other thing that we do ask. But I'll let you all figure it out. And I'm sure they'll do the best they can as far as getting it done in the time that makes most sense.
All righty. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank
Are
you.
there any other?
We do.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to move Miss Bason over, and my mouse is slow today. So Miss Valerie Waters would like to come over to speak. So I'm going to promote you to panelist. If you can take off your mute, and you should be there now. And take off your camera if you'd like.
Ms. Waters, you're still on mute.
Why is it not?
There we
Good
go.
evening. Good
Good
evening,
evening.
everybody. How's everybody? I do apologize if this question has already been raised, but I did join you late. So my question was in regards to the honoring street name for my niece, Dream IoniShepherd. So I do apologize for if it has already been addressed because I did join you late. But I also was raised in Ossining, and my father was raised in Ossining. And congratulations, Miss Bason, on Mr. Jimmy. I do know him well because I was raised on Spring Street and went through Ossining School District as well, as did my father. But I'm interested in finding out about my niece right now.
So Ms. Basin, we had a number of people speak up, not only in this meeting, because this process has a number of meetings, and the board has already moved that process along to the next step. And there was many people shared many wonderful thoughts. So thank you for being here, but it was actually addressed about a while back.
Okay.
Tonight. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Our pleasure.
Have a good evening,
You
everybody.
as
Thank
well.
you. Okay.
Are there any other hands up for, okay? I do not see any.
I do not either.
Okay, and I think I'd like to get a motion to adjourn for executive session. And
Matters
who
of real
matters?
matters of real property and matters of personnel, Mayor.
Here we go. Can I get a motion?
Oh, moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, all those in
Martha?
favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, all good.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. 8:37 on the 20th of October. This meeting comes to a close. Have a lovely evening.